All right, ladies, welcome to Donna's Sewing Circle. Come on in. We've saved a space for you. You must be into beginner quilting for you to find me because that's what we're doing today. We're actually on lesson 2 on our Jacob's quilt. We're doing Jacob's ladder. You can get this pattern on my website at donnasewingcircle.com. The link is in my description and in the first comment. Go get you a copy, it's free. Go get you a copy at my website and follow along and make this quilt with us. This is a 45 by 45 throw quilt. It's a great quilt for a beginner. I have taught this many times here locally. I am a local instructor in Kentucky, and I have had probably over 200 students since I started teaching. And it's the most wonderful thing in the world to teach others the love of sewing, the love of quilting. I've been quilting for 20 plus years. I absolutely love it. I actually picked it up when my grandmother passed away. She was an avid quilter. She quilted her entire life, and no one in the family had taken up the skill. And I thought, well, that's a shame. I think I'll make a quilt in honor of my grandmother. One day I'll show it to you. I never did finish that quilt. It's still sitting on my quilt rack right here in my room, right in this, right over there. I'll drag it out one day. But it was my first quilt, unfinished. I still haven't finished it. It has applique on it. It has blocks on it. I don't know what I was thinking trying to do this. And I made my own pattern of all things. So my first quilt was a little bit of everything, and it actually got me hooked on the quilting bug. I've been quilting ever since. I've quilted hundreds of quilts, gave them away to the needy, to the homeless, to family members, to friends. I've sold a couple, but most of them, actually in my class, I made quite a few for people. I made memory quilts for family members, for people who had passed away. Anyway, I don't know where that tangent came from, but today is lesson 2. Yesterday, if you followed along, we cut out the pieces yesterday. So if you don't have your quilt pieces cut out yesterday, go back and watch yesterday's, and I'll walk you through cutting the blocks for Jacob's ladder. Today, we're going to be chain piecing these pieces together. We will be doing this step. That's what we'll be doing today. Chain piecing, I'll show you on my computer, but there's 12 of the pink blocks and there's 12 of the blue blocks. There's 24 of these blocks. So one of each of these needs to be attached to one of these. Makes sense? And we're going to chain piece. Makes it a whole lot quicker. So come along to my machine and I'll show you. Okay, before we begin, you need to lay out your pieces so you can easily get to them. There's 24 of these blocks, 12 of these, and 12 of these. I have been doing this a long time. I'm pretty good about holding my blocks together. If this is your first quilt, I would recommend that you pin them. We'll take some space here and we'll actually pin them together. So when you pin your quilts together, you want right sides together. This is the right side. That's the wrong side. So you find the right side of each. This is the right side. So I've put right sides together. Actually, I put the right sides together. These are the right sides. We line the edges up right here where I'm going to quilt. Put a pin in it. I actually will put a pin down here, far enough away from here so when I sew, I don't have to remove my pin. That will slow me down. So I've got one done. I put it, I don't have much space over here. I'll put it here. So here, line the edges up, pin it. I like to use 1.5-inch pins with a ball head. You can also use the flat-headed pins, the long ones. I don't have any of those up here in my studio. I sold a lot of them when I had my store. You need to pin a lot as a beginner. It helps hold your stuff together, and you don't have to think about what you're doing because there's so much to do. And it's easier for the beginner to go ahead and pin them than not pin them. That's one less thing they have to worry about when they're sewing, because they'll stay together. Notice I'm double checking. Oops, that one's too short. So we'll throw it aside. That happens, especially when you're working with large pieces of fabric that you have used for other projects. And I have. A lot of my fabric has been cut into. But I made extras. If you remember, I made extras just for that occasion. This is really going to be a beautiful quilt. I'm excited about it. I would love to see what fabrics you're working with. If you decide to go with sheets, or if you went to the fabric store or Amazon. I love to see your fabrics. I love to watch. If you're following along, I would love to see what you're doing. Just snap a photo of what you're doing and put it in the comments. That we are a community. Everybody's learning together. And if we all post our pictures, we can all keep track of what everybody's doing. It'd be really cool. You could take a picture for each step that you're working on. Right now, I'd love to see your squares that you cut in the first video. And then I would love to see your chain in this one when you sew them together. Each video will take you approximately an hour. When I taught my class, it was an hour-long class, and that's approximately how long each step will take. So when you watch one of my videos and you want to follow along, set aside at least an hour block of time per video so you can sew along with us. Uh-oh. Now one of these, I think this one is short, maybe. We'll see. If it's short, I'll have to go cut another piece because I did not cut spare of the pink. But you remember, it was a sheet, so I've got plenty of it. You notice I love to talk. I think this is the short piece. Yeah, it's short. I'm going to have to go cut another piece. I'll be right back. See, that didn't take very long. You probably didn't notice it at all. Okay, now I've got my pink done. 12 of those. Now I'm going to go on to my blue. Okay, now I've got all my blocks ready to go. One thing you'll want to do before you get started, you want to check your bobbin. My bobbin is almost full. You don't want to, it's no fun to run out of your bobbin or your thread before you finish your project for the day. Okay, I've got plenty of thread, plenty of bobbin. I'll turn my machine on. The stitch that comes on is the stitch we will use. You don't have to change stitching. Now, you get to watch me sew. What we're going to do, we're going to follow the edge of your foot. That may be a little more than 1/4 inch, but it's okay. I want you for a while to learn to sew along the edge of your foot. That will help you keep a straight line. A straight line is more important than 1/4 inch right now. Okay? So you put your foot down, this lever right here, put your foot down. You'll go forward about 3 stitches. You go backwards 3 stitches. This locks your stitch. Okay? Now, what we're going to do, if you hold your hand here, you hold your hand here, and another one here, think of it as driving a car. You know, when you drive a car, you turn it this way to go one direction and this way to go the other way. Your object is to use these 2 hands to steer your fabric so it stays along the edge of your foot. That's all these hands are for. So practice placing your hands right here, one here, and one here. And practice driving. You want to keep a straight line. You see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, I'm getting to the edge of the fabric. I'm going to go ahead and do the frontwards and backwards. Sometimes your thread will get caught under there. It's no big deal. Just cut it. Now notice I didn't have to mess with that pin. That's why I placed it where I did. The only object of that pin is to hold your fabric still. Now you lift your foot. You place your second piece right up against the first piece. See that right here? There's no space between them. Go forward 3, back 3. You sew all the way down. Do your guiding. Remember to guide your traffic. You're in traffic. Backwards, forwards. Okay? Get another 2 pieces, front and back. There's right sides together. Lift your foot up. Put it in there. Line it up with the edge of your foot. Line it up with this. Put your hands in position and drive your car. Go forward 3, backward 3. The purpose of those stitches is to keep your quilt from unraveling. It's called locking your stitch. You do that in just about everything you sew. So you might as well get in the habit of it. All the way to the front, to the end of the fabric, backwards, forwards. And see my chain? See how that's doing? See my chain? Each piece is connected. I'm not having to change thread, change anything. It makes your sewing a whole lot simpler. Okay, you get your next piece. Line it up with the edge of your foot. Line it up with this fabric. Put your hands in position. Forward 3, back 3. Go all the way to the end of the fabric. Guiding it so it doesn't move. Get to the end of your fabric. Next piece, lift your foot. Line it up with the edge of your foot. Line it up with this. And you do that till you get to the end of your pile. You should have 24 pieces that you're going to have chained together. Try not to forget to lock your stitch. Sometimes you forget. Don't stress over it. Just try to remember to lock your stitch at every block. If you watch long enough, you might see me forget. I have the speed of my machine set on medium. If that's too fast for you, Sew at your own speed. Mine has slow, medium, and fast. I normally sew fast. I'm sewing at a reduced speed for you all. Okay, we've done our 24 pieces. Cut your thread. Okay, we get our 24 pieces done. I'm really proud of you for keeping up with me. Sometimes you probably had to stop the video and go ahead and do your sewing and then start the video back up. That was just fine. Now you're right where you need to be. So now we have a pile that we need to take care of. We got our pin cushion that we made in the beginning sewing class. If you didn't go through that class, you can learn how to make one of these for your own studio. So now we go through and we cut the blocks apart, take the pin out, put it in your pin cushion, make a nice stack. So that's what we're going to do now is we're going to cut each block apart, remove the pin, stack them the same direction, seam on top of seam. It makes it easier when you're ready to iron if you stack them all the same direction. Did you all do good? Did the steering help? Did you make straight rows? That's the important part. Your seams need to be straight. That's what you need to be practicing is straight rows. I know it's hard. It took me a while too. My first quilt was definitely a wreck. Probably the first couple of quilts I made were a wreck until I finally got the straight lines mastered. But it is very important to have straight lines. How pretty? Have straight lines? Hopefully yours is just as straight. It makes for better piecing. You don't have to cut as much at the end to line your blocks up if you can keep a straight line. There's ways around it if you can't, so don't despair. If your lines are crooked, we will fix that in the next video. Actually, it'll be the video after, I believe. So don't despair if you have crooked lines. I'll show you how to fix it without resewing it. I really love this fabric. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, and it is so pretty. I believe I got this fabric that I'm talking about, the one with the sheen on it. I think I got it offline. It's years ago. I was a member of a free fabric website, and we traded. She looked through my fabric, picked what she wanted, and we traded fabric. I think I got 2 or 3 yards of this, and then she got 2 or 3 yards of my fabric. It was a good trade-off. I really like this fabric. Sometimes you'll be lucky and you can find stuff like that online. I'm not a member anymore. I don't even know if it exists anymore. Okay, so we've got them all undone. The next step is ironing. So we will iron it, turn our machine off. It'll be a little bit before we get back to it. Turn the machine off. I'll meet you at the ironing board. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to open each one of them. I iron, I'll show you. You could spray them. You don't have to spray them if you don't want to because you've already ironed them once. I'll iron the top and I'll go over. I don't pull and yank. If you pull and yank, you can misshapen your blocks. I iron it this open. If you look at the back side, that ironed the seam down. I want it ironed down like that. Some people, and there's nothing wrong with it, some people would rather open their seam and iron the seam open. That's perfectly fine. You could do whichever one you like best. Some people would prefer to open their seams like that. So we're going to do that for all 24 pieces. And what I like to do is I'll lay this here. I'll lay my next piece on top of it and iron it. And what that does, it makes the piece below it ironed extra. So that they really truly are flat. Once I get a stack of maybe 6 or 7, when it becomes kind of unwieldy, I'll lay it aside and start a new stack. But the whole option of the whole reason we're doing this is to iron it down. Do not stretch your fabric. Just lay it nice and flat and iron over it. I try and make sure that I'm ironing them all the same way. I enjoy ironing. You'll do it a lot when you're quilting. Okay, I'm going to lay this stack aside and start a new stack. You just gently push it down at the seam. You notice I don't iron or spray every piece. It doesn't need it. Move this aside. Do you enjoy ironing? I do. I love to iron. Have you noticed how beautiful these fabrics go together? Aren't they beautiful? This fabric draws out the blue in this one. Isn't it beautiful? Now we're on to the pink. So look what it does to the pink. Isn't it gorgeous? It highlights it. That's really what the small block fabric is supposed to do, is draw out and highlight the two main fabrics. And this one does it perfectly. Hopefully your fabric does that. Even if it's just a white or a cream, it'll help complement your bigger colors. Notice I'm not stretching it. I'm letting the iron do the work. I'm not pulling it. All right, there we go. We've got our 24 pieces iron. The next part, the pinning and the next sewing part, that's lesson 3. So I'll see you in lesson 3.